everyone, it's Savannah here, and I'm excited to bring to you week 6 of our lesson plans. And this week we are going to dive into our figurative language unit, and we're going to start off with mood and tone. So if you're new here, I am a middle school language arts teacher. I love teaching and I love sharing my ideas with teachers like you. And if you want to check out my previous weeks where we talked about inference and text evidence, just look in the links below and you can see a little link to those. But let's get started with week 6. We're going to dive in to figurative language and focusing on mood and tone and getting our students really thinking about what they're reading and how it makes them feel. And you will always have those students who say, I don't feel anything. Well, we're going to teach them how to express what they think the author wants them to feel. All right, so let's get started. Let's see how we're going to teach mood and tone. This is week 6 of figurative language, not of figurative language, but week 6 of school. This is when we start figurative language. And the goal of this week is that students will be able to define mood and tone and identify it within a text. Now, when they come in on Monday, we are going to have a pre-test on figurative language. So you have a couple of options here. If you have a shorter class, I would just start with this, and then students can pop into a story or they can do their vocabulary words. So as I have shorter classes now than when I originally created this, what I would do is I would start off with my pre-test, and then when students are done, then they can move into writing down their vocabulary and morphology for the day. That's what I would do. However, if you have longer classes, then this is a great plan for you. You could start out with your bell ringer, move to vocabulary, then you can go to your figurative language pretest, and then students can finish chapter 7 independently. So that is Monday, but the whole goal of this day is to focus on this figurative language pretest so we can get a good idea of where our students are and what they know. Now, Tuesday, when they pop in, this is when we really start focusing on mood and tone, and I'm excited about this. So we do our question of the day, and then we will start on some activity sets. So these two in my class kind of flow together. We do question of the day, and then we roll into activity sets, and I set a timer for that. And then we are going to start on the mood and tone slides, our mini lesson. So let me show you what slide 1 through 7 look like here. This is the mood and tone mini lesson, and I tell my students it's all about the feels, right? And so I go through it, and the first 7 slides are all about, well, first we go over what mood and tone is, and then even though they're related, they are not the same thing, and this mini lesson really helps hammer that point home. The first thing that we go over in slides 1 through 7 is tone. And so I talk about what tone means, how to identify the tone, and then we have this example about the biography of a president. What would a tone be if they agreed with the president, and how it would be different if they were critical of the president. And so we talk about how word choice matters. And then I always say, it doesn't matter what you believe about the president. We're talking about a random person that was writing a biography. So we don't need to hear your opinions. We just need to know how the words would be different if they agreed or were critical of it. So we turn and talk, and then we share those ideas out. I have 2 little short stories here, passages, I guess, where we talk about the tone and the words that develop the tone about snow. And then that's slides 1 through 7. After that, we are going to teach a new annotation strategy. And this week we are focusing on, or today we're focusing on reaction, because I really want them to react to the text, and that will help develop the mood and tone, and really focusing on that. So I will show them the reaction slide and talk about that. We'll glue it into their notebook, or 3-hole punch if you have a 3-hole punch or 3-ring binder. Then we will go over the target objective for the day. And if you look, target objectives are always on the to-do tab over here. And the target objective today is students will be able to analyze and express how they feel about the events in the text. Now, my students are going to be reading Ghost. However, if you are not reading this, then I would encourage you to pick out a short story. On ELA Unlimited, I have 2 options that have a mood and tone guide that you can use throughout the week. I have Monsters Are Due on Maple Street and The Monkey's Paw, so you can check those out. Or if you're not on ELA Unlimited, you can just pick any story that you can focus on mood and tone. So as you read, you're going to stop and jot, and they really are going to be focusing on their reactions to the text and how it makes them feel. If you have time at the end, you can do an RTQT question, and it can be done in small groups with a partner or individually. However, if you are reading a text like Monsters Are Due on Maple Street or Monkey's Paw, then you will probably skip the RTQT questions because you'll be reading it throughout the week. Then we will come over to Wednesday, same question of the day, flowing right into activity sets. We are going to go over slides 8 through 11, mood and tone. Let me show you that now. And so I talk about what mood is, how it creates the vibe, and we talk about the 3 ways mood is created through setting, and then students practice doing that here. And then mood is also created with tone, and we talk about that here with Walking on Sunshine. And then mood is created through genre, and we talk about that here, and then they create it there. Lastly, there is a practice quizzes to review the terms. These are great slides to help really grasp what mood and tone is and how to work with it. Today we're focusing on the annotation strategy of quotes. So we're looking at these quotes that really help build the mood and tone. That's what I'm going to be pulling out today. We'll go over the target objective, which let's look at today's target objective. And today's target objective is students will be able to determine the mood of the chapter and analyze how the author created the mood. This is great with short stories, or chapter 9 if you're reading Ghost. But this is great with short stories like Monsters Are Due on Maple Street and The Monkey's Paw, because you can pull out certain quotes and be like, how did the author want you to feel with this activity? Or how did the author want you to feel with this line? What was the goal of the author? And so we could really start to hone in on how the author creates the mood of the text. It doesn't just magically happen. It happens with their word choice. And then we have a great little activity here called the mood map, where we can take what we read and map the mood. So that's a lot of fun. Let me show it to you right here. This is the mood map, and it's a way for students to track the shifts in mood throughout the text. And so how it works is they will go over sections, and you can determine the section of the text that you give them and explain how the author created mood for the reader, assign the mood a color and connotation, and then they're going to add the mood, color, and connotation to the map. So it looks like this. This is an example. I gave them a selection here. Then obviously the mood of the selection is cheerful and happy, and I pulled out evidence that supported that. And so I said it had a positive connotation, the positive mood, and with a yellow color, so that shows that it's positive. And then I explain it. And then students, what I want them to do is this is the overall mood map, and then for each section they will come up with a word to describe the mood and then give evidence to support it. And then I love this question: what is the effect of the shifts in mood throughout the story? Like, how does it affect the reader? How does it change your experience with the story? After they finish the sections, they'll come back to this mood map, and they will assign a color to the mood and then tell me if it's a positive or negative mood. I love it. I think it's fun. I like to see the mood map together. Now, an option that you have here is that if you don't want all of your students completing the whole thing because you might take too much time, you can give one group section 1, one group section 2, another group section 3, and then they can come up with the mood of that section and the evidence to support it. And then everybody can answer this question right here. Thursday, they come in and they have question of the day. We're flowing into vocabulary. Then we have some activity slides with mood and tone. We do have these activities, and I think this is the best thing to show mood and tone right here and the difference between it, where we have this clip of Charlotte passing away, where it makes us feel really sad, but Charlotte is at peace with it. And so we really talk about it, the difference between tone and mood here. I love this clip for this activity. It really hones in on the difference between mood and tone. Love it. After that, we do the fun activity with Frozen, where we have the horror film and the regular film. And those are the activities to go with the mood and tone mini lesson. Today's active reading strategy is cause and effect. So I will go over that one with the students and we'll 3-ring punch it or put it into their binder somehow. And let's look at our target objective for the day. So I'm going to pop over here to my to-do side. The target objective is students will be able to determine how one action can lead to a chain of events. And then if you're reading Ghost, you're doing chapter 10 and it has a little free write activity with it. If you're on ELA Unlimited, that's all there together. Again, if you are not reading Ghost, it's a great time with your short story to really like pull out the quotes, pull out how one thing led to another, and then you can do the essay activity with it. If you have ELA Unlimited, there's an essay with each one. Now on Friday, we are going to go over to question of the day, morphology quiz, and then I have this fun activity called the Amazon review, and this is an end of novel activity, and I'm going to show it to you here. This is the Bookazon review activity, and this is a Google slide right here. They place the images that represent the novel. I always don't want them to place images that are the novel because then that has some copyright issues to go with it, right? So we just put images in that represent the novel, the title, the book description, and I tell them we don't want spoilers. Just give me a summary of the book without some spoilers here. Then we have a review where they can give their review and then they'll write their final review here. There is a planning guide with this. This is the planning guide to help them develop their review. So it talks about the book description, the mood and tone, any awards, author style, target audience, all the good things, and then they can put it together to write a review. Now, if it looks like a lot, you can have students do this with a partner or a small group, or they can work independently, of course. So it shouldn't take that long. These are just a couple of sentences here. You know, you'll have students who want to spend 3,000 years on it, but you just need to be like, okay, let's go. Let's move it on. We're not going to spend 10,000 years doing it. Once they have all of this, they can easily transfer it over to this slide. Copy and paste, right? From here, they put it all together, then they'll paste it right here. Ideally, this will take 1 day to complete, and if they don't finish it, it would be homework, but if you need more time, of course, that's an option. Now, this activity can be used with any novel or short story. It doesn't necessarily have to be a novel. They can review the short story and put it on Amazon as well. So if you did The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street, then you could do the review activity here. Or if you didn't want to do the review activity, you can watch the movie and compare it to the short story. And again, if you're on ELA Unlimited, I have those things linked for you. Now, I do think it's important to say that if you're like, how do you get all that done? A lot of times I don't. That was for my 90-minute advanced classes. So if you have a 90-minute advanced class, that's everything you could probably do in one class period. Right now I have 45-minute classes. So what I do is a lot of times I will either cut out question of the day, I will make their activity sets part of their homework, because I think vocabulary is important. I also think writing is important, but sometimes you just can't do it all in one class period. So something has to move to homework. And so a lot of times it's the activity sets that move to homework, and then we'll do question of the day, and then we'll pop into everything else. Now, if you have slower classes, then that's okay too. If you need to, for example, the mood map, that mood map can take place over 2 days instead of doing the writing activity, because our whole goal is to really pull out the mood this week, to really understand what the mood is. So the mood map in some classes might take 2 days. So I will only do that. For my advanced classes, I'll do the mood map on 1 day, I'll do the writing activity that connects the story to the mood another day, and then the Amazon review on the 3rd day. You can move that quickly with your advanced classes if you have good routines. But if you can't, that's okay. You can let some things go. It is okay to pick one activity like the mood map and let it last all week. Or one activity like the Amazon review and have that last a couple of days. That's cool too. You do what works for you. This is just an idea of how you can have your classes segmented and how I teach mood and tone throughout the week. That's it. that is week 6. If any of these lesson plans excite you and you're like, yes, I want to do this in my class, just look at the links below. If it's available on Teachers Pay Teachers, I have that linked. But I do know everything is available on ELA Unlimited. It's where you can find all these creative and engaging lesson plans like I just showed you for one low price. You can download what you need when you need it. Print, let's go, assign it in the digital platform. You are ready to go. You do not need any prep for this. So if you have any questions, just let me know. And then next week I will be back with week 7. Yeah, week 7, where we really look at figurative language and the meaning of it and how it impacts the text. Can't wait. Happy mood and tone teaching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.